Good evening, Carl Blanchard. This is the first day of the first term of the governing body under my watch. Again, I sent an email, a text message this morning with some of my expectations, what's to be expected for the upcoming year. The old statement says the village is sometimes better run by the villagers, so it takes an entire village to raise a child. So this is our child. This CameraFi organization is our love child. In order for us to have it running effectively and as efficiently as possible, it will require the participation of every single member. Again, I tend to want to lead from the side or from the rear in an effort to make sure that this organization is brought to the forefront. We are currently seeking to be a non-profit philanthropic organization, but we are yet to see that effected. So until we get those paperwork signed and put into effect, we'll continue to be the sports and cultural club organization that we've effectively operated as for the last 10 years. However, for the next 2 years, the goal under my watch is to make sure that this is the most successful Caribbean sports soccer organization entity in the entire Atlanta area. And if we so choose to, I think we can be nationwide, in that we far surpass any other organization with the tendencies or who have occupied the market space that we will be occupying. All right. So the things that we are putting afoot, which I briefly mentioned since the election, is firstly, I have this is a personal something, I'm going to be working with the board. However, the first part which I'll talk about, because there's a lot of other engagements that the planning committee, which I won't take apart, that planning committee will stay as is because I think it's very effective. So I will be working directly with the planning committee. I've already sent a draft of the yearly planner, which we'll take a look at and try to merge some of my ideas into whatever the planning committee has planned for 2018. All right. First on the agenda, which I briefly mentioned in the ring a couple of weeks ago, I've been working with Miss Bonita, and we are working on what's going to be, if we get this to work, is going to be one of the most productive, one of there are very little words to describe what this engagement will be. However, Miss Bonita approached me after I sort of invited her to that Christmas party and said she has in her budgetary plans a plan to reorganize the Farrington Park area. We want to bring a youth soccer league there, and in an effort to do that, she wants to engage us. CameraFi we have been a source that she has gone to many times, and we are known, and we want to work with Miss Bonita to see how we can make this a success. Firstly, the plan is to reorganize the park. First, there's going to be concession stands. There's going to be 2 stands, one on the top field, one on the bottom field, and there should be a big field, one for big enough for men as well as for youth. And then we are in the process, as we speak, of working on getting all of this started. And this is so urgent that I think she wants to get it started by as early as January 15th. So that's within 14 days. Conrad and myself were actually did our own work, and this is Conrad took this upon himself, and he found another organization that does the a lot of things to do with youth soccer, and they're actually located here in Georgia. We spoke to Mr. Zaidi, who's of the Zaidi family in Jamaica. They were the ones who actually ran the Manning Cup, which was the Zaidi Cup, currently Manning Cup. So a very popular name. So we'll be meeting with that guy tomorrow along with Miss Bonita. I think Dylan has made a comment that he would like to be there barring certain meetings. However, this is one of the first projects. Again, every quarter there will be a project. Every quarter there will be a fundraising effort. Every quarter, each quarter, something will be assigned to a person. Persons who cannot and will not be able to take on those responsibilities should not, again, I repeat, should not take on those engagements, should not accept those roles if asked. All right? Persons who we know who have been dormant, who have just been around, will be given an opportunity to make sure that we see how their light can shine bright for this organization. All right, so I'm looking forward again to 2018. This is a new era. We'll be using technology as a forefront. Some of the meetings that we have forced people to join meeting at Sherman or whatever the venue is. We can cut some of those meetings. We have to have 4 meetings per year. 2 can be held remotely, as I'm going to be doing here. We can use Zoom sessions where we still see people face to face, as well as we can use conference calls. What would be the effect of not having a face-to-face meeting for one of those general meetings? There shouldn't be. We'll take roll just as we did previously, and we'll account for who's there, and we'll know according to the bylaws who have attended, who have not attended, and people will be held accountable for things that, according to our bylaws, that we are responsible for. We have to participate in a certain amount of events, and again, I am a proponent of let's build it, and we'll get the following. So, there's a baseball statement that says, let's build it and they will come. And I'm a big proponent of that statement. So again, I am going to be your sage on the stage as I am here, as well as there's times when I'm going to be your guide on the side. So, I'm going to be working again with a lot of people, because decisions that are going to be made are going to be totally my responsibility, even though they're going to be coming from the board, they're going to be coming from a disciplinary committee. However, the final buck stops with me. And on my watch, I want to ensure that all that we've set out to do, we get accomplished. Again, I think some of the presidential candidates, they talked about clubhouses, they talk about quite a few other things, and I don't want to jump over or walk over or beat the horn too early for what the planning committee has in place. However, as soon as we've met, we will be disclosing some of those details. However, it's now up on Mr. Kirk Richards, the current ruling president, to start handing over. So as it's customary, I think by the midweek of January, the handing over of all the company's business aspects should be totally handed over to this current board of representatives. So the secretarial roles will easily transition from myself to Conrad and so forth. The presidential duties I think I like the way the calling posts are done, unless we have any qualms or not wanting to hear the voice of Mr. Kirk Richards. We'll still continue to have Mr. Richards be the voice of the organization in regards to when we do our regular calling post. All right, again, this is a new year, and the hope is that what you've not accomplished last year, let's not look at that. Let's not dwell on that. Let's think again of the future, what we've done in the past. If we're repeating the same practices and getting the same results, it's not working. Let's try something else. And this is the same mentality that will be taken in regards to how Carablanta is being run. All right. I look forward again for your support, and hopefully we'll have, and I have no doubt that we'll have a very successful 2018. Hopefully it will be exponentially so by 2019. But again, distance of 1,000 miles begin with the very first step. Thank you.